Hello everyone, it's LasithKArt here in my next painting video, and today I'll be painting this lovely Tasmanian highland scene taken at Mount Harts in the southwest of Tasmania as part of my Tasmanian acrylic painting series, and I'll list the equipment down in the description below, and let's get straight into it. I hope you enjoy. So first of all, I begin off with light grey and light green in the background for the fog and the distant hills. And then I add the rocks on the cliff and the middle ground hills, and here I'm using a mixture of predominantly primary blue and acrylic white and a bit of pearl red. And now I'm beginning to apply a dark mixture of pearl red, primary blue and a bit of cadmium yellow into the background, into the middle ground hills as an underpainting. And then I begin adding lighter greens on top of this, and now I'm beginning to add more lighter yellows and lighter greens on top of this, and working towards the highlights and working towards a whiter color. And now I'm adding more highlights and rounding off the edges of the hills to create a three-dimensional shape to them, and I continue doing this. And then using a dark mix, I add the underpainting for the reflections and use lighter colors on top of this, remembering to streak down with the reflections and use a painting knife across the water to give the effect of still water. And then I'm adding rocks into the foreground, and the further I come into the foreground, I'm defining these rocks even more. And now I'm adding the closest water using glossy whitish grey for the reflections in the foreground, and I'm using a light grey and adding darker colours underneath and lighter colours on top of the rocks to shape them. And I'm adding a bush in the foreground and another one. Now looking at the finished product, I've also added an oil glaze of just oil onto the water to create better reflections, and oils over acrylics into the foreground especially and the middle ground hills to create more depth and distance and more contrast from the foreground to the background. And that's it. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this video, and I hope you all really enjoyed it. Now the name of this painting is A Still Mountain Pool. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to check out some of my latest videos, and I hope to see you guys in some of my next videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.